Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. You're very welcome to the programme. And where we are is we're actually on Vinegar Hill, and this is near Enniscorthy in County Wexford. And you certainly get beautiful scenery from up here, as you can see. It certainly is a great view. And of course, there was a battle fought here on Vinegar Hill during the 1798 rebellion, and that was by the United Irishmen and also the government forces. And it was fought on the 21st of June 1798. And there's a memorial here. So we're going to start around the other side. Now, I'm not going to read all of the boards to you, but I will read some as we go along. But first of all, I'm going to show you this, which is 1798. And you see a pike head there. And of course, the United Irishmen used lots of pikes. So you can pause the video here if you want and zoom in and have a read of that. I'm just going to read the title for you. It's The Insurrection of 1798. And then I'll read this to you. This says, erected in proud memory of the heroes of 98 by the Wexford local authorities in conjunction with Cumann Comatha, I think that is, 1798 Bicentenary Association on behalf of the people of County Wexford. Again, you can pause the video and have a read of that. I just read the title for you. It's 1798 in County Wexford. Gives you the sequence of the battles there. And then if we go around the other side, you can see 1798 there. And it says, insurgent leaders present at the Battle of Vinegar Hill included John Murphy, who of course was the Roman Catholic priest of Bullavogue, and also Thomas Clinch, who was now a Roman Catholic priest of Kilrush. Edward Fitzgerald, I've covered him actually in a past video, and his residence of New Park. I think it was the same one that I covered. William Burns, sorry, of Ballymonus. Daniel Kerwin of Kernew, sorry. Anthony Parry of Inch, and I want to talk a wee bit about him later on. And Miles Byrne of Monaseed. The defenders in the town were led by, who's that? Murphy, is it? No, it's Moog. So he was a priest as well. Moog Kearns of I'm not sure where he's from. William Barker of Enniscorthy. And then it says the insurgents' positions. It's hard to make some of that out. Range from the summit to the present. What's that? Something Road, which did not exist at the time. And then it says, can't make that out either, is now part of the present main Wexford Road, extended from the bridge only to the, is that turret rocks or something, in 1798. So this is Vinegar Hill, and it says Vinegar Hill was the main stronghold of the rebels in County Wexford during the 1798 rising. From the hill, The insurgents planned and launched successful attacks on Wexford, Corey, and Bunclody when 20,000 government troops were drafted into the county. The insurgents, also numbering about 20,000, prepared to make a final stand at Vinegar Hill. The decisive battle was fought on the 21st of June. General Johnson attacked Enniscorthy with the encampment on the hill, while the encampment on the hill was bombarded with cannon from 6 a.m. From 6 a.m. onwards, troops under Generals Lake, Duff, Loftus, and I think that's from the Adam Loftus family from Dublin, Rathfarnham Castle, I think, and Dundas advanced up the slopes. The rebels, badly armed and exposed on the hill to superior artillery, resisted bravely but were forced to yield. They made their way in a well organised retreat to the Wexford Road through Needham's Gap, so called because General Needham had not arrived to complete the encirclement of the hill. He actually came slower than the other two. With this defeat, the large-scale rising in County Wexford was effectively over, but the two surviving divisions fought on bravely outside the county. The Wexford men's resistance had ceased by August when the French landed in Killalay on the west coast. After the initial successes, the French were defeated, and a similar French, what's that say? Defeat, I think it is. A second time, French, fate, sorry. A similar fate befell a second French expedition, which sailed into Lough Swilly. Hard to make the writing out there. Although defeated, the courage and spirit of the proud Wexford men of '98 was typified on Vinegar Hill, which became an inspirational symbol for future generations. So I'm going to show you this here. So that's the battle plan there. That's the hill. That's obviously Enniscorthy Castle, I would assume. There's the different divisions. So you can pause the video here if you want to read this here. This is, I think it's a poem or a song, and the Roman Catholic priest John Murphy is mentioned here. So that's the hill, top of the hill there. You can see people on it. So thanks for watching, and God bless. Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. You're very welcome to the programme, and where we are is we're on top of Vinegar Hill here, and you get a good view of the town of Enniscorthy. You can see a few church spires there. You can also see the sports pitches there. So you certainly get a good view from here. And there's a rocky bit here to Vinegar Hill. And there's also the remains of what would appear to be a windmill or some such. But there was also a battle fought here because this was the rebel camp during the 1798 rebellion. And the Battle of Vinegar Hill was fought on the 21st of June 1798 as part of the 1798 rebellion. Now, a force of approximately 13,000 government troops under the command of Gerard Lake and 16,000 United Irishmen led by Anthony Parry battled it out here on Vinegar Hill on the streets of Enniscorthy that I just showed you there. And of course, this is in County Wexford. Now, the battle centred on the rebel camp here on Vinegar Hill, and the town marked the last major attempt by the rebels to hold and control territory in Wexford that they had taken. Now, the battle began shortly before dawn on the 21st of June 1798 with an artillery bombardment of the rebel positions here on the hill, and it ended with a rebel defeat. Both shrapnel shells and grape shot was used by the British to maximise casualties. And after government forces seized the hill, they committed some atrocities which were perpetrated in revenge for prior massacres of loyalist prisoners by the rebels. Now, the bulk of the rebel army managed to escape through what became known as Needham's Gap, although many others were unable to do so. And so this is where the rebel camp was, and this is where part of the battle was. This is the Battle of Vinegar Hill. And of course, then the hill was taken by the government troops. So I'm assuming this is a windmill or something at some point. And obviously, it would have been here during the 1798 rebellion. It's either a tower or a windmill, I'm not too sure which. There's no information on it, but it certainly does have a bit of age to it. You can see a wee cross there. A green cross, I wonder is that for the United Irishmen? Not too sure. But you can't get in, there's a lock on the gate. See the old doors there? Old metal doors. So there you go, folks. That was the Battle of Vinegar Hill, fought on the 21st of June 1798 between the Wexford rebels and the government troops, which of course ended in a rebel defeat. So thanks for watching.